Ladies and gentlemen, boys and NBs, welcome back to Verdansk. I did not think I would ever be saying that, especially from my cell phone, but here we are. I've been having a ton of fun with Warzone Mobile, and I figured it was time to give you my top 5 loadouts for winning games. Back on the Dansk. I've been playing trios a lot with randoms, or with the boys when they're around. Typically we play quads. At any rate, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because that is the right thing to do. I bring you the best builds for all platforms and games within the Call of Duty universe, and we'll be branching out soon. And on that note, let's get into it. And mind you, you can mix and match across any of these how you see fit. For the first loadout, I'm starting with the MCW. The MCW is just a very low recoil gun, and it's very fantastic with a decent TTK. Reminds me of the Kilo back on the original Verdansk. For this build, I use the Corio REX Pro optic because it's been my favorite for a year and a half now. Why change what's not broken? We throw in the high velocity ammo so we can up that velocity. We do lose a tiny bit of range, but we don't add recoil like we would by using high grade. And being on a cell phone, got games on my phone now, want to keep that under control as best as possible. We're not going to use the sonic suppressor this time. We're going to use the Spirit Fire, get a little bit more of that recoil control, but more importantly, that firing aim stability. We're then going to add the 16.5-inch MCW Cyclone barrel. That way we get more recoil control and more reach out and touch you. We get that range back that we lost the high velocity, and then some. Then I throw the 60-round drum on it because I want to make sure I can put down 2, maybe 3 targets at a time. The MCW is fantastic. Throw this thing on if you're just looking to cruise through, have a casual time. And then with the MCW, personally, I'm pairing this up with the P90 or the PDSW. I love this gun. It feels so good within Modern Warfare 3 and in Warzone, even on PC. I'm going unsuppressed on this because I'm loud and proud with 5.7, baby. Just getting the job done. This build, we're going to use the TV tac comb to up our speed, our aim down sight and sprint, all that. The rail, the integrated reflex rail, so we get our optic right there, and we get stats out of it that are beneficial as well. The CQB stock, once again, we want to be flying and frying, so let's push that up. Throw hollow point ammunition on to get a pseudo flinch, and if they try to run, all you have to do is hit them below the waist, and they can no longer run. For the barrel, we're using the FTAC Series 9 14.5-inch because it's going to push our range out, but we're not going to get any kind of movement penalties, and only a slight aim down penalty. This thing is incredible. I know it's a Modern Warfare 2 gun, but it's absolutely frying in both games right now. Moving on to loadout 2, I've actually got the BP50. The BP50 is another gun with low recoil, and it has an extremely high TTK. It is just beautiful to use, and with this build, you will slap everyone on the map with these. We're going to start off the XRK on-point optic. This is another optic that I really like. Use whatever optic you like, but I really like this optic, especially the way it looks on this gun. The low pro of the optic on the gun lets me see a lot. I then use the high-velocity ammunition for the same reasons as before. We throw on the 45-round magazine because it's the largest option we have. We're going to use the FTAC SP10 angled grip to get our aim stability on top of what we have with the Spirit Fire, and we're going to gain some horizontal recoil control because it's the only thing we really need to worry about on this gun. And then we're going to finish off once again with the VT7 Spirit Fire suppressor to get that aim stability and recoil control. This thing is a laser beam. You're going to kill everyone to 200 meters. That's an exaggeration on a cell phone. It's hard to see that far, but you know what I'm saying. You're not going to have problems taking fights at longer ranges with this. You can go up to like a Schlager 3.4 or the AOK 4 times if you want to, and it is controllable, but I would recommend a controller for that. These builds are for anyone on any setup, by the way. And I am pairing the BP50 actually with the AMR9. And for the AMR9, what I am doing is I'm putting the 50-round drum on with a DR6 hand stop. This is to get our movement as high as possible, get a little bit of aim down. I'm then throwing in the low grain rounds to take recoil out of the gun. Being a submachine gun, we only need about 500 meter per second bullet velocity, and we're getting it with this build, and our speed is through the roof here, so we're on top of people the entire time. We're then going to throw on the D50 buffer tube once again to bring our speed up, fly and fry. And then we're going to use the integrally suppressed micro barrel. This is the shorter of the two integrally suppressed barrels for this gun, and this thing has almost 0 recoil, and you are going to fly. All right, next up, we've got my personal favorite loadout to run within Verdansk on Warzone Mobile. I actually won 3 games in a row earlier while sitting in my car, and I actually tied my PR from back on original Verdansk of 23 kills, and that is starting with the Baz B That's right, the Baz Bravo, using the SC88 rear grip, the Crippling Malice integrally suppressed barrel, the 277 low grain rounds to get some more of that recoil out. We do lose a little range with both of those attachments, but that's okay. Sniper support, it's a backup. We only need to fight to 40 meters with this. Use the DR6 hand stop to push our movement speed up and our aim down sight, and then we're going to throw on the 45 round mag because it is our largest option. This thing is incredible within Warzone Mobile right now. It's really good in Warzone itself, but on mobile it's king. This gun is king right now. And then I'm actually tying the Baz B and my loadouts to the SPX. That's right, the SPX is a one-shot headshot, and it is incredible. I clapped a kid from farms all the way across into downtown. It was beautiful. Sadly, I wasn't recording at the time. Like I said, I was just chilling in my car, but I hit the shot. It was about 450 meters, if I had to guess. From what I know of Verdansk, this gun is incredible. For the build, we're going to use the Imperium 12 times optic. That's what I'm going with. You can use the ADS rear grip, or you can use a barrel of your choice. Just make sure you don't lose your suppressor. Speaking of suppressor, we're going to throw on the Nil Sound 90 because it's the best option. Sadly, the Modern Warfare 2 guns do not have the Modern Warfare 3 attachments in mobile, so we'll make do with what we have with the Nil Sound 90. Throw on the Max DMR Precision stock, get some of that aim stability and all of those good stats that we want. Then further add the FSS OLAV laser, aim down sight, sprint to fire, and aim stability. We're going to finish it off with the 300 Winnie high velocity so we can get those bullets out there on a hit scan schedule. This thing has very little bullet drop, and you are going to clap kids at any range. It's good up close. It feels like the SPR 208 did back in 2020. This thing is awesome. All right, so in every video, you guys know there's a DMR. I love DMRs, and they absolutely clap, especially in Warzone. But Warzone Mobile, they do really well as well. If you're playing with a team, duos, trios, or quads, I would highly recommend running this alongside your sniper boys. And that would be the MCW 6.8. And we're going to use the Cronin 0P optic, or an optic similar to it of your choice. This is just the one I like. You're going to use fire point rounds. So this thing is hit scan. This gun is going to pull over 1600 meter per second bullet velocity, built the way it is. I use the 30 round magazine so I keep my ADS speed up. You can use the large drum mag if you want to, but the 30 is more than enough. FSS OLAV laser for our stability, aim down sight, and sprint to fire. And then we are going to throw on the Series R integrally suppressed barrel. It just keeps us off the mini-map, and it gives us some decent stats. There are better barrels for bullet velocity and such, but we don't need it with Spire Point. I'm telling you, Spire Point is giving us like 50% bullet velocity. We're pulling 1600 meters per second. It is insane. This gun slaps. It's a 6-shot kill with no headshots, or 5 with a headshot at any range. Up close, it's a 4-shot kill with a headshot. It is amazing, absolutely amazing. And then with the MCW 6.8, I'm actually pairing that with the HRM 9, which is still absolutely top tier meta, and I'm in love with this gun. The more I use it, the more I like it. It's got the cleanest iron sights in the game, especially with the barrel we have here. And with this build, we are going to use the integrally suppressed barrel to get range, bullet velocity, all of the stats that we want, as well as recoil control. They're going to use the VLK 7 milliwatt laser to offset that loss of aim down sight speed. We're going to throw on the folding stock to get recoil control. Then we're going to throw on the DR6 hand stop to up our movement, aim down, etc. Throw on the 50 round drum mag. This is the absolute S tier meta SMG within Warzone Mobile. I would also say the Lockman sub is very good. However, it's not on my list. I haven't tested it enough yet. That's what I plan to do tomorrow. All right, next up, we're going to start with another Modern Warfare 2 weapon. This is actually an all Modern Warfare 2 setup, and it is S tier meta. This is an incredible setup. I won a couple of games with this the other day when I first started playing. We're going to use the Chimera. Remember, this is a subsonic gun, so you're only going to want to take fights to about 40 meters, but it's sniper support, so you've got that big old bolt action to handle business past that 40 meter range. For the build, we're going to use the 10-inch SA Phoenix barrel. We're going to go unsuppressed, but they're going to throw on the D37 rear grip. Between these two, we're getting our recoil control and our stability. We're going to throw on the VLK 7mm laser for more stability, aim down sight, and sprint to fire. The Ravage 10 stock for the movement and sprint to fire ADS speed, and then finish off that 45 round mag. It's the largest option that we do have on this gun. The Chimera slaps. This thing is good in all games right now. It's always been good. The Chimera is is absolutely worth throwing in your loadout. I love this gun. The other gun that absolutely slaps is the MCPR. The MCPR is what people are calling the meta sniper. I believe the SPX is the meta sniper, but this would be my second choice. The MCPR, we're running the good old-fashioned build that we ran in DMZ last year all year with one slight change. For this build, we're going to use the Cronin Smooth Bolts with the high velocity ammunition and the Nil Sound 90. We're going to throw on the FSS OLAV laser and then finish off with the Cronin Lion Stock. This gun has 0 scope sway. I shouldn't say 0, but almost 0. You don't need to hold your breath until you get to around 300 meters. What we swapped out is we actually swapped off our optic change for that smooth bolt so we get that follow-up shot out faster because this thing shoots a little slower. Built this way, this feels very much like the Kar 98 did back in 2020. I'm in love with these 300 Winnie rifles, and if you're not aware, all of the guns in the sniper category that are bolt action are in fact a one-shot kill if you hit a headshot. And then alright, we gotta throw a big boy in the list, and with this loadout, we're gonna start with the Bruin Mark 9, throwing on the sonic suppressor as always, using the SP10 angled grip, get our stability and some horizontal recoil control. Oreo REX Pro, because you know it's your boy's favorite optic, it's the optic of your choice as always. We use the high velocity ammo instead of the high grain that we use on Warzone because we want to take some of that recoil out of the gun, and it only costs us a very small amount of range to do this. And we're going to finish off with a 60 round magazine conversion to make this thing an AR instead of an LMG. This thing absolutely slaps. Again, S tier meta, has very little recoil. And with this, we're going to partner it up with the MTZ 762 with the aftermarket part. This is a double AR setup, so you have to be conscious of your ammunition. But I haven't ran into trouble at all, and I played like 6 or 7 games with this setup, won a couple of them. You don't have to really worry about ammo, but just be mindful that this is a double AR ammo classification. For this build, obviously we're going to use the aftermarket part of the Jack Heretic carbine kit. We're then going to throw on the 40 round magazine and the Shadow Strike suppressor. We can make this thing have maximum bullets, 40 rounder, and then with the Shadow Strike, we're just staying off the map. We're not getting any other stats, and we're not getting hit. We're gonna throw in the Blackthorn barrel so we can push some of those stats a little further. We're then gonna throw on the DR6 hand stop to up our movement or aim down sight and fly and fry. You're a little slower with this build than others, but you are heavy hitting with the 762 as you're up close, and then 5.56 is your long range. It's a bit of a reversal, but again, this is a subsonic setup we're running here, and that's gonna be my top 6 loadouts for Warzone Mobile. Once all the patches drop with the new season, I'm expecting the rollout of buffs and nerfs to also hit Warzone Mobile. If that happens, I will bring you my fresh set of guns for that. But with the one-shot snipers being in Warzone Mobile, maybe they're not connected. We'll find out. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope to see you in Verdansk, Al Mazrah, or Urzikstan, or any of the other maps in between. I've been Nolzy. Like the video, subscribe because you like my content, you're still here. And on that note, until next time, leave me alone.